with individuals that represent the type of style of hockey that he likes. Once he gets a full house of kids that do the things he likes, then he's going to be a winner, and so is the Kent State hockey program.
There's a lot of untapped talent, especially here in northeastern Ohio. How do you feel about, say, amateur hockey throughout this area of Ohio?
Well, Tom comes from really a legend, and will be a legend, at least in coaching, Ronnie Mason. And when Ron was eligible for the Michigan State job, we had an influence in getting him into that job. And one of our concerns was, will he take American boys? And he has done it, and he's made winners out of those kids. I think Tom can spend some time with Ohio hockey because it's up and coming. And it takes 10, 20, 25 years to develop grassroots hockey that can develop into mature high school, college-age hockey players that can play the game as well as Canadians or good kids from Minnesota. So if he goes out and beats the bushes, so to speak, in Cleveland, Toledo, some of the other areas around here, Bowling Green, he's going to find 3 or 4 kids that he can build on and give Ohio people something to believe in.
You mentioned to me before that Tom has a lot of Canadian tendencies. Is there a place in, say, Ohio for a Canadian hockey coach to coach American players?
Absolutely. Our assistant coach at Eastern Michigan's green card American and was born and raised in Canada, and I think it's just a matter of understanding the type of individual that you're dealing with. You grow up in a given socio-economic environment, and you get used to a certain type of kid. He'll have certain tendencies based on being an American, the style of play, the style of living habits that he has, and I think Tom's been here long enough, and he knows what kids are going to do. And once he finds a couple good Ohio brand kids, maybe a couple kids from Michigan or Illinois or Pennsylvania, he's going to be able to build that with bringing in a couple good kids and his resources from Canada.
There's a lot of financial problems right now throughout the states of Ohio and Michigan and so forth. What is the future of hockey in this area, especially a little lower class than, say, the CCHA?
Well, we've addressed this question at length both with AHOS, the governing body for amateur hockey, and the National Hockey League. And we found that keeping rinks open is a top priority. It costs so much to keep a rink cold, refrigerated, and to keep the lights on. So who pays for this? Well, university is the best place for a rink because the community can use it, the university can use it for varsity programs and for educational programs, and it gets a multitude of use. Whereas a private sector rink, well, they've got to fund themselves, and the individual players have to pay for it. It becomes quite expensive, and if we don't have young kids stockpiled at the bottom, then we're not going to have the cream of the crop at the top. We need that base to work with.
Let's talk for a second about Eastern Michigan. How is the future coming along for Eastern Michigan hockey?
Well, this past year, we won our league a year ago, and we were hoping for some more support this year. They withdrew our student advisor, our faculty advisor, those 2 individuals, plus they took away all of our financing. So we've been privately funded this entire year. It's an uphill struggle, but there are a lot of kids in Michigan who can play the sport, who want to play the sport, and we'll be back.
Coach Dave McGugan of Eastern Michigan University, thank you, and best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you, Stan.
It's 7-5. Kent State leads Eastern Michigan after 2 periods of play. We're about ready to get the 3rd period underway. So you're looking at Jim Witherspoon, one of the officials. The Flashes are on top, 7-5. Tom Vigiano has right now the game-winning goal, if it remains that way. Vigiano deflected a Zane Reed slap shot from the point at 15-20. Then Hauser added an insurance goal at 18-02. We have the drop of the puck, and we're underway for this, the 3rd and final period of this afternoon's hockey game. Controlling the puck behind his own net is A.J. Baker. Baker for Eastern Michigan, they are on the power play. Glenn Kaywood is sitting in the penalty box. Baker comes across center ice, across the blue line. Then right away, Zane Reed tries to deflect it out. Now, puck is loose and Zane Reed skates. Goes off the boards to Doug Hauser. Now Zane picks it back up, and he'll wrist it the length of the ice. 1 minute, 28 seconds to go in the power play for Eastern. Picking up the puck behind his own net was Mike Nalips. Nalips loses the puck, and now it comes on the near boards, and with it is number 5, Mark Hill. Hill skates into Kent State territory, centering pass, intercepted by Abood, and a wrist shot taken by Campbell went right. Now the puck comes free, and it's wristed all the way back down into Eastern Michigan territory. 1 minute, 4 seconds to go on the power play. Eastern brings it out. A.J. Baker passes off the boards. With it out there at center ice is Jeff Campbell. Campbell wrists it back to his defenseman. This is Mark Hill. Hill skates across the blue line, dumps it back behind the Kent State goal, comes right loose to the slot. Covering up on it is Davey Bowen. Dave Bowen, sophomore goalkeeper for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Bowen from Columbiaville, Michigan. 5'6", 140 pounds. Face-off will occur to his right-hand side. Scott Baker will take the draw, and he wins it for the Flashes. Zane Reed controls it on the near boards. Comes free to the point. John Sitterlet keeps it in for Eastern Michigan. Sitterlet off the boards for Mike Frasinos. Frasinos checked by Baker. Puck comes free to Baker. He bats it down and sends it back out to center ice, where Sitterlet picks it up for Eastern Michigan. Sitterlet, wait for everybody is on sides. There's 25 seconds to go. In the power play for Eastern Michigan, behind his own net is Zane Reed. He loses the puck. Sitterlet's going to control near boards. Sitterlet back to the point to Paul Pucci. Pucci loses the puck, and keeping it in was Steve Whiteman. Whiteman across, far point. Jay Brzezinski with a drive. It's deflected in front. Comes right to Bowen, and he covers up on it. So Bowen's been strong. He came in at the 3:09 mark of the first period when Cookie Gonzalez gave up 2 quick goals. Score is 7-5. Kent State on top. 18:07 to go in this, the third and final period. Both teams changing. 7 seconds remains in the penalty to Glenn Kaywood of the Golden Flashes. Shawn, Egan, Scott McGeehan are out there for Kent State, as well as Andy Fielding. From the face-off, Eastern Michigan controls. Back with it is Steve Whiteman. Whiteman dumps it into the Kent State zone and out of center ice with Shawn Egan, but it's kept in by Eastern. Mike Nalips wrists it into a neutral corner. Penalty now over to Kaywood. Flashes back at full strength. With it near boards is Scott McGeehan. McGeehan's going to wrist it back behind his own net. And now we have a penalty coming up, an interference call. It looks like it's going to be against one of the Golden Flashes. It's Glenn Kaywood. Kaywood just came out of the penalty box. He'll go be right back to the sin bin. Time of the penalty at the 2-minute and 11-second mark. So Kaywood was on the ice for exactly 11 seconds, and he picks up an interference call and goes right back to the box. Eastern will again be on the power play, of course, for the second time in this period. 7-5 is the score. Kent State on top. Just underway in this, the third period. Kent State will send out Shawn Egan and Gary Tucci, with Keith Aboud and Zane Reed on the points to kill the penalty. Tucci will take the draw with Carter. Puck controlled by Kent State. Aboud around the boards all the way out to center ice, and it's going to go the length of the ice all the way back down to the Eastern Michigan zone. Controlling it there is A.J. Baker. Baker behind his own net. Baker out to center ice. Now you have to wait for everybody to get on sides is Jeff Campbell. Campbell across the blue line. Gives it to Keith Aboud, who takes the puck and sends it the length of the ice. Minute 25 to go in the Kaywood penalty. Eastern Michigan controls. Now bringing it up to center ice. It's number 21, that is Mark Stevenson. Check that, that's Jeff Campbell. Campbell, near corner, tries a wrist shot. Zane Reed picks it up, and he'll wrist it out to center ice. Minute 3 to go in the Kaywood penalty. And now we have a whistle. And we have an unsportsmanlike conduct called on J.F. Carter of Eastern Michigan. Carter will go off for Eastern Michigan for unsportsmanlike conduct. 3 minutes and 10 seconds the time of the penalty, and it will even things up. The Flashes will be skating 4-on-4. Taking a look at one of the officials, that is Jim Witherspoon. Witherspoon's been taking a lot of flack from Coach Dave McGugan in the past, and now he's taking a little more flack after calling that penalty. Face-off controlled by Kent State. With it is Hauser. Here comes Hauser across the blue line. Hauser, wrist shot goes wide. Puck is on the meshing. Hauser tips it aside. He's trying to tuck it home. The puck is loose on the side of the net. And holding it there for a face-off is Masterovich. Hard work by Doug Hauser. He's looking for a hat trick here this evening. 48 seconds remains in the Kaywood penalty. A minute 47 remains in the penalty to J.F. Carter. From the draw, Eastern controls. With the puck is Mike Nalips. Nalips back behind the net for A.J. Baker. Finally, the puck is cleared out to center ice. With it is Doug Hauser. We're skating 4-on-4. Brings it. Keith Aboud. Aboud tries to hit a breaking Peter Turtside. Masterovich comes way out of the net. and he covers up on it for a face-off. Dangerous play by Jeff Mastrovich. Playing the odds perfectly. He had a step on Peter Turtzai coming out to get the puck. We'll have a face-off coming up to the left-hand side of Mastrovich. 16-16 to go in the hockey game. Kent State on top, 7-5. Vigiano will take the draw for Kent State. He controls it, tries to bring it back to the point, but it goes a little bit too far for Hauser. Hauser overskates the puck. He poke checks it out to center ice. Turtzai and Brzezinski tie it up. Now the puck comes free, and who has it? Yes, sir, it's Doug Hauser. Hauser tries to pass for Vigiano a bit too far. It comes into the Eastern Michigan zone. Vigiano goes in after it, and now we have a penalty coming up against Vigiano, an interference call. And who called it? Yes, Jim Witherspoon. Time of the penalty will be at 4:03. Right now, a player down for Eastern Michigan. It is John Sitterlet. Sitterlet slow getting up. And now he'll come off, a little bit limping. Sitterlet stretching out ligaments of the knee. Face-off will occur just outside the Eastern Michigan blue line. So the Flashes will not have a power play. The penalty to Kaywood is almost over. There's 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the Eastern Michigan penalty. Right now, Coach McGugan is hollering. He wants to know how much time is left on the Kaywood penalty. Kaywood was called for interference at 2:11, which means there should be 8 seconds left on the penalty. Face-off, controlled by Eastern Michigan. With it is Jay Brzezinski. Right now they're skating 4-on-3. Eastern Michigan has a slight power play. Now Kaywood is back on the ice. The Flashes are skating 4-on-4 with the puck is Baker. Scott Baker across the blue line, fakes a slap shot. Tries to feed Straffen in the slot, but that wasn't there. Kaywood with a drive goes wide. Baker rebound goes wide. Baker now has the puck in the near corner. Baker skates around one defenseman, centering pass for Straffen, too wide. Fielding with a drive. Stick save. Baker can't get a stick on the puck, and a penalty's coming up against Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan player will go off. It will be Jay Brzezinski. Brzezinski goes off. Time of the penalty will be at 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Interference to call. So, after a somewhat less penalty game last night, the Flashes and Eastern have had a ton of penalties so far here today. So, figuring out the penalty situation, the Flashes now have a power play. They will be skating 4-on-3 for 36 seconds. Aboud has the puck near boards. Back to Hauser, far point, he walks in, shot deflected wide. Puck loose behind the net. Now it's picked up and shot the length of the ice right on goal. Bowen has to make a stick save. 23 seconds to go in the man advantage for Kent State. With the puck is Doug Hauser. Here he comes. Center ice, across the blue line. Hauser, slot, shot, glove save, Mastrovich. Doug Hauser showing what makes him the magic man. Beautiful at skating with the puck. We've had 40 minutes of penalties in this game. 24 for Eastern and 16 for Kent. Kent is on a man advantage for 13 more seconds. Baker can't control the face-off. Now the puck will come free to Hauser at the point. Hauser will take it middle slot. Now passes to Aboud. Aboud drives. Stick save, Mastrovich. 3 seconds to go in the power play for Kent State. It is now over. Now near boards. With it is J.J. Baker. Baker in the slot. Baker around one defenseman. Shot deflected by Bowen. He wants to hold on. He can't find the puck, and now it's wristed to the near boards. This is Hauser. Doug Hauser, Kent State. Around Campbell, comes free on goal. Finally, Campbell picks it up, and he'll send it the length of the ice, icing the call against Eastern Michigan.